Hello everyone, I'm so happy to see you back on my channel. Today, I bring you a very special episode, a milestone in the sweet yet challenging love story of LyTuDiep and CEO James. After months of overcoming misunderstandings, trials, and even moments when they almost parted ways, their true love has finally blossomed into a grand yet heartwarming wedding. The hall was filled with joy, laughter, and endless blessings. The moment Diep, in her pure white wedding gown, confidently walked down the aisle hand in hand with James, it wasn't just their happiness alone, but also proof of the power of love, patience, and trust they had given each other. What was even more touching was their decision to adopt little Nee. The gentle, innocent girl now has a complete family, a strong father and a loving mother. Her innocent smile lit up the entire ceremony, bringing hope that happiness can always be built upon love and sharing. After the wedding, the three of them moved into their new home, a place where they dream and plan for the future. This house is not just a shelter, but a true home, where children's laughter echoes, warm family meals bring hearts closer, and every corner carries hope for a promising new journey. In this episode, you'll witness every precious moment, from the instant James nervously slipped the ring onto Diep's finger, to the emotional vows they exchanged, to the sight of little Nee happily running around the new home with her radiant smile. Each scene marks the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with love, sharing, and faith in a complete future. So don't take your eyes off the screen. Watch the entire episode to immerse yourself in these moments of happiness, and see how love not only brings sweetness but also heals wounds and creates brighter beginnings. And as always, don't forget to leave your blessings for Diep, James, and little Nee in the comments. Every wish you leave is a source of encouragement for this small family to keep moving forward on their journey. See you again in the next episodes, where even more surprises and emotions await. After many months of James tirelessly running everywhere, from law offices, police headquarters, to countless appointments at the local committee, the adoption papers for little Nee were finally approved. The documents, stamped with bright red seals, were not just dry legal procedures, but proof of his unrelenting effort, a ticket to a new beginning for three people who were once strangers but had now become a family. On the day she held the files in her hands, Diep was so overwhelmed that her hands trembled uncontrollably. She bent down quickly, hugging little Nee tightly, pressing the child's small face against her chest as if afraid she might disappear if she let go. Tears streamed down, but her radiant smile never faded. They weren't tears of sorrow, but tears of release, proof that the long-awaited happiness had finally arrived. As always, Nee innocently wrapped her tiny arms around Diep's neck, nuzzled into her shoulder, and giggled. That pure, childlike smile was like the first ray of sunshine after a storm, melting the young woman's heart. In that moment, Diep realized, from today, she would no longer live just for herself, but for a little angel to protect, love, and guide for a lifetime. James stood by, quietly watching. In his eyes was a blend of relief, pride, and boundless love. In Diep, he saw a woman both tender and strong, in Nee, a little angel full of innocence and purity. The image of mother and child embracing made his heart ache with emotion. He knew this was the family he had always dreamed of, the place where he wanted to devote all his heart and strength for the rest of his life. Unable to hold back any longer, James stepped forward and knelt down right in front of Diep and Nee. The gesture caught Diep by surprise, her tearful eyes locked onto him. From his pocket, he pulled out a small velvet box, his hands trembling with emotion. Inside was a ring, simple yet gleaming under the light, as bright as a promise of eternal love. His voice was hoarse, each word heavy with feeling. "Diep, will you marry me, and join me in raising and caring for little Nee for the rest of our lives?" The entire room seemed to freeze. The ticking of the clock sounded louder than ever. Diep covered her mouth with her hand, tears brimming in her eyes. Thousands of thoughts raced through her mind, but in the end, it all condensed into a firm, resolute nod. No words were needed, the sparkling eyes filled with love and trust spoke louder than anything. In that instant, Nee squealed in joy, bouncing up like a little bird. Yeah. Now I have a dad and a mom. Her innocent laughter filled the small room, pure and sacred, like a declaration of a complete home. James gently slid the ring onto Diep's finger, his eyes glowing with happiness. He wrapped Diep and Nee in his arms, holding them tightly as if to protect this moment forever, never letting anything tear them apart. In that warm embrace, the three of them became one true family. Outside, the sunset painted the sky in shades of crimson, like a romantic backdrop for their blossoming love. And in that moment, the world seemed to narrow down to just three people, a man, a woman, and a child, beginning a new journey together, one of love, trust, and lasting happiness. The wedding day unfolded like a grand festival, the entire village buzzing with joy. From early morning, the road leading to Diep's house was packed with people coming and going. Colorful flags fluttered in the wind, and lanterns of every shade lined the path, creating a scene that was both traditional and radiant. The sound of drums and lively music echoed through the neighborhood, blending with the chatter and laughter of guests, filling the air with excitement. Relatives and friends from near and far gathered, bringing with them heartfelt blessings. The elderly quietly wiped away tears of emotion, while children ran around giggling, both curious and eager. Everyone was overjoyed to witness a beautiful love story finally bear its sweet fruit. Diep, dressed in a pure white dye, stepped out from the main house. Each step she took was graceful, shy yet proud. In her trembling hands was a bouquet of white daisies mixed with bright red roses, a symbol of love both simple and passionate. Whispers of admiration rippled through the crowd. The bride is so beautiful, they look perfect together. At the end of the aisle, James stood waiting in a sleek black suit. His eyes lit up the moment they found Diep. It was as if the whole world had shrunk to just her, the woman he had chosen to walk with for the rest of his life. With every step Diep took closer, his heart pounded faster, his lips quivering with emotion. When the two finally stood side by side, holding hands tightly, the world seemed to pause. As James slipped the ring onto Diep's finger, his hands trembled, his eyes glistening. Diep too could not hold back her tears, they streamed down her cheeks, but her smile shone brightly. From today, we are a family, James whispered softly, his deep, warm voice resonating in the hushed air. Immediately, the courtyard burst into applause. Cheers of blessing filled the air, and confetti rained down like a shower of well wishes for eternal happiness. Amidst the music and laughter, little Nee, in a lovely princess dress, scattered rose petals along the path. Her face glowed with joy, her sparkling eyes shining bright. Her innocent voice rang out, making everyone smile. "Mommy, Daddy, be happy forever." That childlike blessing, pure and sincere, was perhaps the most sacred of all. Everyone laughed with joy, while Diep and James embraced me tightly. In that moment, the three of them became one, a complete family, bound by love, trust, and hope for the future. After the grand wedding filled with laughter and blessings, James and Diep officially moved into their newly finished home. The charming little house nestled beside a lush grapefruit garden, where rows of heavy fruit trees released a gentle fragrance into the evening breeze. The bright red-tiled roof gleamed under the golden sunlight, while a pristine white wooden fence ran along the path. At the gate, a vibrant bougainvillea trellis bloomed in full glory, its clusters cascading down like a soft curtain, romantic and serene. This house was not just a place to live, but the beginning of a new journey. Inside, Diep carefully arranged every corner, a bright living room with their glowing wedding portrait, a neat dining table adorned with a fresh bouquet, and a cozy kitchen carrying the scent of new wood blended with familiar spices. Every detail reflected the young couple's care, as if they had poured their love into every nook and cranny. Most special of all, Diep prepared a warm little room just for me. She chose a soft pastel pink paint, hung delicate curtains with tiny floral patterns to let the morning sunlight shine gently through. On the walls were playful pictures she had hand-picked, and in the center stood a small study desk with tidy drawers, ready for me's first notebooks. A little shelf nearby was stacked with stuffed animals and comic books, brightening her new childhood. Stepping into the room, Nee chirped with excitement, running around like a little bird discovering her nest. Her tiny hands touched everything, the fluffy bunny pillow, the colorful pencil case neatly placed on the desk. Her sparkling eyes brimmed with joy and anticipation. Giggling, she rushed to hug Diep and James tightly, her cheerful voice ringing out. "I have my own room now. I have both Mom and Dad too." Watching the scene, James gently wrapped his arms around mother and daughter. A deep sense of peace, the one he had long yearned for, welled up inside him. Diep leaned on his shoulder, her gentle smile and bright eyes radiating a happiness both simple and complete. That evening, the three of them prepared their very first meal together in the new kitchen. James clumsily washed vegetables, splashing water everywhere, making me burst into laughter. Diep, smiling, wiped the mess while guiding him in chopping vegetables. Laughter echoed through the kitchen, blending with the aroma of the simmering soup on the stove. When the meal was finally set on the table, the three sat side by side. Diep picked out a piece of fish for me, while James poured water for his wife. Holding her little bowl of rice, Nee tilted her head and smiled innocently. "Our family's meal is the most delicious in the world." Outside, the evening breeze swayed the bougainvillea trellis, scattering a few delicate petals across the yard. Warm yellow light spilled from the windows, casting the shadows of three people gathered close onto the red brick floor. The small house beside the grapefruit garden had truly become a home, where each day began with laughter and ended in the embrace of love. From that moment, a small family filled with happiness officially began. Every morning, as golden sunlight streamed softly through the window, sparrows chirped in the grapefruit trees, and the bougainvillea at the porch swayed gently in the breeze, the three of them gathered around the breakfast table. Diep lovingly prepared simple yet warm meals, sometimes a steaming bowl of chicken porridge, other times boiled eggs with salt and pepper, or crispy baguettes that James had woken up early to buy from the village market. The aroma of coffee mingled with the sweet scent of Nee's warm milk, filling the little house with a comforting warmth. James, relaxed and content, sipped his coffee while deftly tying Nee's hair and carefully slipping her tiny backpack onto her shoulders. The gesture made Diep burst into laughter, her eyes glowing with quiet happiness. Nee chattered excitedly about her school day, the math problem she scored a perfect 10 on, how her best friend shared candy with her, or how the teacher praised her neatly tied hair. Her lively voice and innocent smile, as fresh as the morning sun, brought endless joy to the little home. Each of her stories added a bright color to the family's canvas. James and Diep listened intently, smiling and nodding, their eyes shining with pride. By afternoon, when golden sunlight bathed the garden, James and Diep watered the plants and picked vegetables hand in hand. Lush rows of greens and wildflowers along the fence seemed nurtured with love. The earthy fragrance blended with their soft laughter, painting a simple yet poetic countryside scene. Little Nee chased after the kitten they had adopted, her tiny feet leaving prints on the red brick yard. Her carefree laughter echoed across the courtyard, filling the home with vitality. At night, under the bright moon, the three of them sat on the porch together. James told stories of his childhood, while Diep listened, occasionally adding playful remarks. The family gathered close, the chirping of insects mingling with their laughter in the night breeze, creating an indescribable peace. On weekends, they enjoyed simple yet joyful moments together. Sometimes they harvested golden papayas in the fields, each ripe fruit making me cheer with delight. Other times, they picked sweet melons and shared juicy slices right there by the field. Occasionally, they wandered through the village market, James carrying a basket of dried goods, Diep choosing fresh vegetables, while little Nee marveled at the colorful handicrafts. Each trip was filled with chatter and laughter, leaving behind simple but precious memories. The little house had now become more than a shelter, it was a true home, where love was nurtured daily, where children's laughter echoed in every corner. Every shared meal, every story told under the golden light, every glance exchanged was like a strong thread weaving together the fabric of a happy family. Above all, it was not just a new beginning, but a promise of a long journey ahead, a journey of connection, trust, and enduring happiness built together by three souls. And each evening, as bougainvillea petals drifted down at the porch, their laughter resounded like an endless song of love and home. After all the storms they endured, Diep, James, and little Nee finally found their own harbor of happiness. From a young woman once scarred by pain, to a strong but lonely businessman, and an orphaned girl longing for love, the three have now found each other, becoming a family bound together by love, sharing, and compassion. The small house nestled by the green grapefruit garden is not just a place to live, but a sacred home, where every meal is filled with affection, where children's laughter echoes in every corner, and where peaceful days are woven from the simplest things. Each falling bougainvillea petal, each gentle breeze through the garden seems to witness and bless this newly formed home. The journey ahead will surely hold challenges, with many new stories yet to unfold. But with steadfast love and unwavering trust, Diep and James will continue to walk hand in hand, raising little Nee and writing new chapters of happiness together. This is not only a story of romance, but also of healing, of how three once lonely hearts have come together as one, igniting hope and faith for the future. Thank you all for accompanying and following today's story. Every blessing, every comment you leave is a priceless gift, giving strength to the little family of Diep, James, Nee to grow stronger and more complete. Don't forget to subscribe, leave your kind wishes in the comments, and see you tomorrow in the next episode, where even more surprises, heartfelt moments, and emotions await.
Xin chào tất cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Như mọi người cũng đã biết thì kênh của mình mấy bữa nay thì mình thường tập trung lên nội dung video của mẹ đơn thân Lý Hoài Ca. Nhưng mà hôm nay thì mình sẽ lên video về nội dung của LyTuDiep. Lý do mình lên video của LyTuDiep là bữa nay một phần là do kênh mình lên nội dung của Lý Hoài Ca, mình thấy là có vẻ là mọi người rất là ít xem, cũng không có theo dõi nhiều như mọi khi. Và nội dung của Lý Hoài Ca thì bữa nay thì cũng không có tình tiết gì khá đặc biệt. Còn bên LyTuDiep thì có một vài chi tiết rất là vui và bất ngờ, nên là mình muốn chia sẻ ngay video này đến với mọi người. Mình hy vọng là mọi người cũng có thể theo dõi và ủng hộ cho kênh mình nhiều hơn. Không những video này và cả những video khác nữa cũng có thể theo dõi và ủng hộ cho kênh mình. Và mong rằng mọi người sẽ yêu quý kênh mình hơn trong các video tiếp theo. Rất mong là có thể nhận được sự ủng hộ của mọi người và có thể gặp lại mọi người trong những video tiếp theo. Còn bây giờ thì xin chào tạm biệt và hẹn gặp lại.